And now, a soliloquy on Best of Ones. Good night, sweet prince. As we lay you to rest, I wish we could say you would be sorely missed. Instead, we usher in a new era of games of best of twos and best of threes, a much-needed change. No longer shall we tilt at the first sign of trouble. Clown fiestas can be reversed like the burst of a bubble. The added experience will help on the international stage, and we might finally beat the Koreans for a f***ing change. Best of Ones are dead. Long live PrimeTime League!
Hooney with the quadra. Is it going to be the Penta? Hooney in the final game of their spring split gets a Penta kill.
락스 바위처럼 단단하고 타임 없는 정말 호랑이 같은 용맹함을 보여주네요.
BG go massive. That's a quadra. Endless gets himself a Penta kill.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to PrimeTime League. I'm Rivington Bisson III. He's David Phreak Turley, still, and we're your best of two ready to kick off this week of LOL Esports action.
Yes, we are. It's going to be great, and we are tied in awesomeness.
All right.
One each.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
You got that?
Last weekend in the LCS, we saw Penta's upsets and one lonely tiebreaker. But more importantly, we witnessed the end of an era. Since its inception in 2013, the League of Legends Championship Series, you remember that, Phreak? Has played best of ones until now. And the response has been mostly positive.
I would say so. It's been, I think, a good change overall. You can kind of break down the responses into two basic camps. The first is people who are smart and who welcome the change. These people are looking forward to a bright new era, the sequels with best of threes and best of twos, and it's going to be great. Lots more games to be played. The second group is much more cynical. I would label them as wrong. They're disillusioned, skeptical, flabbergasted, trolly, or just simply TSM fans. Honestly, just people who aren't as smart as other League of Legends players. But honestly, the true response, regardless, is just lol. At least according to Reggie, that's what you should be saying.
That's right. And a modicum of that cynical fatalism is due in no small part to Energy's come from 9.7K behind victory over TSM in the final Sunday of the spring split. Funny enough, this was only the second best thing that happened to Energy over the last week. On Thursday, it was also announced that four-time NBA champion Shaquille O'Neal became an investor in the Energy organization. The NBA MVP not only knows Shaq Fu, he knows how to social media, and he let the world of LOL Esports know that he was ready to jump into the clown fiesta that is LOL Esports memes.
What a wonderful place to be in here. Although he didn't tweet out any comment to Energy's amazing victory, if he did, we imagine it would have looked something like this oldie but goodie. It's good, right?
Absolutely amazing.
I don't know why Hooney's excited about it, but it's okay.
For years to come, I'm going to show this to my children. Joining Shaq in this round of investments in the Energy organization were Chicago White Sox shortstop Jimmy Rollins and future Hall of Famer and three-time MVP Alex Rodriguez. They're kind of known.
Yeah, I feel like they're really good at what they do. Yeah.
So now that is in the past, Energy joins 11 other LCS teams in the spring split playoffs that kick off on April 2nd. The winner of the European and North American leagues will not only be crowned the spring split champions, but they will also earn a trip to the midseason invitational taking place in Shanghai, China. A bonus for the LCS champs that when they're done fighting each other in the MSI finals, they can head over to KFC and pick up some skins. I know we are. In celebration of the League of Legends 4-year anniversary in China, KFC is giving away skin cards, plus they also launched LOL-theme meals and restaurants, including one in Shanghai.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing. So I don't really have confirmation on this, but I believe they went through a lengthy decision-making process on which skins to give away, or if they should maybe create some new KFC-themed skin. Now, we were lucky enough to find some skin concepts that were rejected, or would have been if they were ever considered or even pitched. But trust us, they were totally going to be there. The three rejected skins were Froggen's favorite, Deep Fry the Nivea. I guess just throws grease balls at you. That'll work out.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It has an extra burn effect.
Yeah, it just actually changes the champion.
The second one is, I like this, Potato and Gravy Zach.
Tastiest of all. I mean, I guess there's bubble gum, so there's other like tasty flavors for Zach, but
that's true.
I do like me some mashed potatoes and gravy. And finally, the one I'm most disappointed isn't a real thing. Colonel Kench! Why wouldn't it be? Oh man, I would love to play as Colonel Kench.
When you go to eat somebody, maybe they turn into like a drumstick or something.
Well, I was gonna say that you know how there's like a little like fish icon that stacks up when he's got an acquired taste. It's just actually like a drumstick, or just like literally the letters KFC.
So while I check to see if any KFCs will deliver buckets of extra crispy and Nivea to the PTL studio, you can check out the latest edition of Mic Check.
This game, I want you to win as 5. Like, this is your final exam of the day.
Yeah, but it's like a group project, you know, and I'm not good at those.
My mom watched every LCS game as well.
Really?
Yeah, my mom says she likes the clown fiestas. Those are her favorite.
Penta kill!
Hey, give him Penta, give him Penta.
Give me Penta!
Oh, before you're in
Give me Penta!
Give him the Penta.
Hey!
I have laser on 1. Koki is here. Tony, don't take.
Greg is not. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Go wall, everyone.
Wait,
This is our time to get over the wall.
Yeah.
Hey, Poppy,
Slowly. I'm on Poppy.
Cookie down! Yeah, Poppy!
Kill Poppy! I W him, kill Poppy! Nice, guys, good job.
Banana?
Yes.
Let's go banana.
I can pick banana, boys.
Go banana.
Let's go.
Okay, loving the banana.
I'm ulting.
Okay, finish.
Nexus.
Go mid. Finish mid.
Are we in?
50 seconds.
We can end. Let's go mid.
Come in.
Kite guy. Ready, Thunder, okay. Okay. Throw.
You can kill.
Just run.
No. Round 20. You can end.
Good job, guys. Kill him, boys. End the game. Oh. XPK, Sam, this is you, buddy. I believe in you. It's Matt's turn. Oh, shit. It's Matt's turn. Matt.
Please.
Oh, we can win for sure.
Yeah. It's hard, but like...
Yeah, it's hard.
Doable.
Yeah.
Go. Holy shit. Hard and simple, boys.
In preparation for this week's European promotion tournament, we wanted to see how well you know the pros. So on Monday, we tweeted out a cropped picture of one pro's well-coiffed locks. And if you guessed that hair belonged to the star of Top Gun, Willow, and Batman Forever, Val Kilmer, you were damn close. It's actually Splice's jungler, Trashy. And while Trashy and Splice have had a tough rookie split, they get a chance to make the winner of Thursday's match between the Giants and the Copenhagen Wolves into their Huckleberry on Saturday, with a trip to the summer split on the line. Now, before we head over to Berlin for a breakdown of that promo tournament, I have a very important update about the Shocks versus Deficio bet that took place on last week's PTO. The update is that they split their best of 2 and are currently working with our non-legal team to determine what happens because of that tie. But never fear, once we get all the TPS reports and cover sheets sorted out, they'll be back to pay their penance. But for now, let's head over to the European Challenger studio for a closer look at this week's European promo matches.
Welcome, everybody, to the European side of things. Now, everybody's been pretty excited about the playoffs coming in just a couple of weeks, but let's go ahead and talk about the other side of it. That is, of course, the promotion tournament that will be starting this Thursday. So, Stress, obviously, we have the top 2 European Challenger teams that you'd know all about, Huma and Copenhagen Wolves, taking on the bottom LCS teams. Why don't you take us through how it's going to shake out?
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned them already. Copenhagen Wolves and Huma from Challenger going to join Splice, Rocket, and Giants in a 3-day tournament. It is going to be for 3 spots in the LCS. So the first day is going to be an elimination round between Giants and the Copenhagen Wolves. From there on, it's going to be double eliminations. So a little bit more security, plenty of chances there, but all important best of 5s to get those 3 spots.
Absolutely. And we've been discussing quite a lot how we think it's going to be shaking out. Of course, the bracket, starting off with that elimination round, going to be tough for both Giants and the Copenhagen Wolves. But we do agree that we think Rocket and Splice should have no problem making it out. They do look like the stronger teams. Splice, on one hand, have been improving, even if slowly, steadily, week by week towards the end of the finish line. And for Rocket's side, although their record doesn't really indicate it, they have been able to take a Vitality twice. They do show that they have promise and should be able to stay in the LCS against these teams. But I know that we don't really agree on that third team. You're talking about Giants, but I've been all about Huma.
Yeah, we have got a bit of a disagreement on our hands. We thought we'd, join in the fun. North America like their death timers. Let's try some over here in Europe as well.
Getting into it, this is our first European death timers. Each of us will get 45 seconds to explain why we're right and he's wrong. So let's start rolling it out. Because I'm the host, I'm going to not very graciously take this one away from you. I'll start it out. So death timers for me starts 3, 2, 1, and go. So, Team Huma, why they're going to be the next European LCS team. First off, they've got teamwork. They play together. Apart from Rudy, this team has been together throughout all of the Challenger Series. They have gone through some issues, but they seem to have worked it out. They got #1 in the Challenger Series over Copenhagen Wolves. 3-2, yes, and of course, they also had to face Inspire in the same number of games. But maximum games, as Fnatic showed, can sometimes help you to be a lot stronger. Maybe not as many individual players stand out, and pound for pound, maybe Giants look a little bit better in that regard, but they have the teamwork that Giants lacks, and that's why I think if it comes all the way down to it, Huma should be the next European LCS team. Full stop.
Wow, you gave yourself a lot of time to breathe on that one. I hope that one doesn't come back and bite you, Pyro, because there's a little bit more time that was left there. I mean, there's some good points in there. Unfortunately, I'm going to have a whole lot more points where my death timer starts in 3, 2, 1, go. And the reason that I think Giants are going to make it back despite a pretty horrendous regular split is actually the improvement we saw in the last game. The way that Giants dealt with Roccat, actually showing up with both Sunstar, Pepinero, a lot of their key players actually started to show up in the very last game. And I think when you compare the Giants games to the games that Huma had with Copenhagen Wolves in the Challenger Series finals, Giants actually showed us more on a macro level sense and an individual skill level than we saw from either of the Challenger teams. And that pains me to say, as the Challenger caster, I've seen some great play from Challenger. I've seen some not so great play. Unfortunately, I feel like we're going to see some not so great play out of the Challenger teams this coming weekend. And I think Giants, on an individual level, should just about be able to sneak the win.
Ooh, and you just went right to the buzzer with it. Okay, so use up all your time. That's fine. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Why don't you guys tell us what you think? You've heard from us, so we want to hear from you. Hashtag StressWin or hashtag PyroWin over on this side of it. Don't forget to include the hashtag PTL. But we will see who is correct starting this Thursday through Sunday. Don't forget the promotion tournament begins at 5 p.m. Central European time. So from us in Europe, that's it, and we'll see you then.
Welcome to Twitter Time with PTL, where we crush your dreams of making it into the Hall of Fame 140 characters at a time. Speaking of getting crushed last week, Wild Turtle had the chance to set the all-time LCS records for damage and kills per minute. All he needed was 13 kills, but he only got 8. Dreams of greatness bodied. And I guess I'll have to settle for finishing first, going 17-1, but that's paltry. Now, Turtle came up short, but there were some of you who stepped up and nailed last week's Twitter question. In honor of Turtle's quest, we asked you which LCS player will have the most kills per minute in that previous week of the LCS for a chance at the Hall of Fame. How many total kills would they get? Well, the answer to last week's query was Team Liquid's hard carry Piglet with 0.268 kills per minute and 18 total from the week. 6 of you guessed that Piglet would lead the leagues in kills per minute, so congratulations on that one. But none of you got his total kills, so while we're going to give you a slice of cake, you're not allowed to eat it. Maybe it's a lie after all. I don't know. Now, if you're one of those 6 people staring at their cake and not eating it, well, don't worry. Just like Splice, Rocket, and the Giants, you get another chance to make it this week. Now, we were thinking about the summer promo series, and we dug into successes of the past Challenger teams who have come up. There have been 6 promo relegation events at various shapes and sizes since the beginning of the LCS. And out of the 42 teams who qualified, requalified, or auto-qualified, 14% of those squads have gone on to grab the top seed in playoffs, win the split, or qualify for Worlds. Origin, Cloud9, and Lemon Dogs all went straight from Challenger to Worlds. And honestly, both of these Spring Splits top teams, G2 and Immortals, formerly Team 8, got their spots in the Spring Tournament because of the promo series. So you kind of do the math, and that means, look, at least one of the teams that qualifies for the EU LCS this weekend will end up in a tie at least 1 point during the summer split. It's just science. But hyperbole aside, we want to know who you think will be playing on the big stage in June. So tell us which 3 teams will earn a spot in the European LCS summer split this weekend. For a chance at the Hall of Fame, tell us which player will have the highest KDA in the promo tournament. Remember to hit us up at Level Esports, use the hashtag PTL, and get your answers in before Game 1 of the European Promotion Tournament, if you want a piece of cake too. It's time for a brand new segment here on PTL as Riv sits down with Renegades jungler Crumbz to answer your questions. And our first ever FAQ Off.
So now I'd like to welcome Renegades jungler Crumbz to the PTL set to answer LCS fans' frequently asked questions, or if you prefer to call them facts. Crumbz is about to FAQ off. Thanks for stopping in today, Crumbz.
Thank you for having me. I'm ready to fuck off.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. You guys had a great start, or ended, I should say, to the LCS split. The last 4 out of 5 games were victories. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. This is going to be a little bit more difficult, so prepare yourself. You will have 2 minutes on the clock to answer some of the fan questions. I have them here in my hands. Let's put 2 minutes on and start the clock. Crumbz, can you teach us from Am I Doing It Right? Can you teach us how to be as fresh as you are?
No, I can't, because I got it from my daddy.
Absolutely fantastic. Austin, good luck to you. Next, from Ben_Smith40. How do you do your hair?
Well, the key to my hair is doing absolutely nothing. I wake up and I just let it happen.
Holy shit. All right, next up, @Parajuan says, was Renegades' plan to achieve 8th place to be called the Renegades?
Yeah, you know, all we wanted was so that Monty could have one good tweet. When it came out, when the team came out, we were like, we got to make sure Monty gets one good tweet at the end of the split, and that's why we got 8th place.
What a team, always thinking about the owners. You guys are absolutely fantastic. @Hank Coners, were your team tilted when you had some defeats?
No, we weren't tilted at all. I think we maintained our smart composure and just kept trucking through it.
Absolutely. You guys, you have that huddle after the games every time. It's just, I would love to be in one of those. @MMCBoy33, what did change in your mindset so you could improve that much in your last matches?
Well, I did a couple of things. The first one was I made sure I tested my own patience and trained my patience by playing RuneScape and really slow MMORPGs to just sit there and do one thing over and over and over. And I also started drinking coffee pretty heavily during the games, and that makes me play a lot better, actually.
The real grind. Absolutely. Wow. Teach me. @Benjamin_Winter, 25 seconds left. Which pro player and LCS team are your favorites to beat on the LCS stage, and why?
To be honest, I think TSM is now our favorite team just because we can beat them with a worse composition, and you know, it kind of gets the job done, and it really makes my day.
And Crumbz, I do have a bonus question. 5 seconds, we can go over on this one. Crumbz, are you a prophet? From Skander_Haji. Crumbz, are you a prophet?
Am I a prophet? Yes, I am. You got me.
You heard it right here. Crumbz, thank you so much for stopping by. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for answering all these questions. And I am going to have to say best of luck in the NALCS promotion tournament to you guys. You guys got it. You're Renegades. You can watch Crumbz and his Renegades fight for their spot in the NALCS Summer Split on Thursday, April 7th at noon Pacific, 9 p.m. Central European Time when they take on the winner of the Team Dignitas TDK battle. It's now time to take a trip around the world of LOL Esports to break down the biggest stories and BF matches of the week, starting in Korea. I think it's a good place to start. That begins with the Tigers continuing to rocks the rest of the league. Last week in our BF match of the week, the Tigers mauled SKT in 2 straight games. You almost needed to cover your eyes, including handing Faker his first ever professional loss on Zed. Previous to that contest, Faker was perfect 11-0 on the champ if you count the LCK Worlds MSI, NLB, and IEM.
So that one went down. Of course, you think about it, SKT beat Tigers in the World Finals. Rocks kills the perfect Zed. I would take Worlds personally, but you know what? Both records got, a little bit smashed.
You can go that far.
Yeah, either way. This morning, though, Rocks continued to roll over everybody. They took out CJ Entus in 2 straight games as well. That team is still freaking ridiculous. Everyone is amazing.
Yep.
Kuro, 10-2-17 is Lissandra. Prey, 10-2-18 is Sivir. Peanut, 8-3-20 is Graves. And Kindred and Smeb is number 1 MVP points by a lot.
You can keep going.
I mean, let's name everywhere. Gorilla is still incredible. Everyone in Rocks Tigers is top 2 in KDA for the role. They could arguably just be top 2 players in their role at this point. I mean, they've lost a single match all year in the most difficult league in the world. No one can contest that. ROX Tigers are the #1 team in the world. I think you can't contest that right now, so we got to see what they do at MSI.
It's going to be crazy. The Tigers stomp, along with Samsung sweep on Wednesday morning, means that heading into the Week 11 of the LCK Spring Split, the standings shake up like this. The ROX Tigers have locked in a trip to the postseason, while everyone from Jin Air down to Longzhou have secured their place in the Summer Split. So not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Now, it would take a miracle for ROX to fall from first place, but it is technically possible.
Yeah.
The fight for Mini Boss and who else is going to be in the playoffs is still a very tight fight between Jin Air and KT Rolster, looking at that second place spot. Honestly, the last 3 weeks are very interesting, but what I really want to point out is that currently, SKT are not in playoff standings. Top 5 make it. SKT are in 6th. The curse of winning Worlds and doing nothing the next year is still very real right now.
That's right. The adrenaline kind of gets you going too much. They don't know what to do with it.
Long refractory period after winning Worlds. You just can't play League for like 8 months straight.
That year of R&R is necessary.
go.
So just like the LCK, the LPL has 3 weeks left in their regular spring split. And heading into this week's matches, the table set up like this. The Chaogu Reapers have Group A held down and a trip to the postseason locked up, while a suddenly surging LGD has snuck up into 4th place.
LGD in 4th place. Wow, LGD in 4th place. They're basically, by the way, the Team Liquid of China, except for that one time they actually won last year. They keep getting 4th. Meanwhile, though, Group B is still pretty positive for Royal Never Give Up. They've never given up a piece of first place all spring split long. They're never going to let any of their fans down. This is going to be pretty good. They're followed by Edward Gaming, Vici, Invictus, and oh my goodness, who are fighting for the top, the 3 remaining spots. It's 4 per group that go into the postseason.
Yep, and now let's take a moment to savor a new trend in the LPL and LCK, and thus soon to be a trend in the LCS. Top lane Gragas.
Yeah.
The Rabble Rouser was played in the top lane 5 times last week and went 4-1 while dealing a higher percentage of the team's damage than other popular top lane picks like Trundle or Nautilus.
Yeah, top lane Gragas I think is very interesting, honestly. You can see part of his item build down there. Briefly, it was 2 Doran's rings. He's actually someone who can build AP. Back when he used to see top lane Gragas last season, he was building things like Lich Bane and Rod of Ages and whatnot. The way it kind of works out, he's still able to be a big tank, and instead of playing like the Runic Echoes Gragas you were seeing in the jungle, that 2,000 gold that's spent on non-combat stats, he's allowed to put some more gold towards quota reduction or more AP like a Rod of Ages. Having more gold in the top lane in general lets him still be a big tank, but now have more CC, more displacement, more damage, more everything. Turns out when you have 4 damage skills to level up, he keeps doing damage as he solos and keeps getting golden experience. So a big tank who also deals damage, a really good hybrid mage tank, and he's just a strong top lane hybrid. It's great.
Putting the big man back in the game. I love it because he's a playmaker as well as the disengage, so you can usually see him in like any type of composition you want to put together, which means we'll see a lot more of him. Now, for more barrels of fun, let's head over to the LMS, where this weekend they are wrapping up their spring split much the way they started it, with AHQ all the way at the top. Even if AHQ loses more games this week than they've lost over the last year, they would finish in 2nd place. The Flash Wolves are also guaranteed a spot in the postseason and could still finish 1st, though not likely. Meanwhile, the Cougars' quest for the reverse perfect split is in jeopardy, very much so. They play 6th place Extreme Gamers and 7th place Midnight Sun this week.
So hopefully that stays intact. But all kidding aside, this weekend is about a very important playoff race for 2 spots among 3 teams. Taipei Assassins, Machi, and Hong Kong Esports are the 3 teams in the running. HKES, 5 points behind TPA, 2 points behind Machi, but keep in mind, it's 2 best of 2s worth up to 3 points each this week. Also, easy schedule for HKES. We expect 6 points out of them. However, TPA and Machi not only play each other, but then also have really hard matchups in AHQ and Flash Wolves for their matches. So you expect someone to drop down. HKES can catapult with a properly played week.
It's like trying to get to the top of the stairs. You just yanking out everybody's ankle. It's like, don't pull, can't pull. Oh, there's pulling. Whoever makes it to the playoffs has a tough road ahead of them because sitting at the end of the ladder will be one of the best teams in LMS history. You've heard of them, AHQ. If you look at the records and the rosters, the only team that has a realistic chance at dethroning the defending champs are the Flash Wolves. We'll get a preview of that potential title series showdown in this week's BF match of the week. If you're talking AHQ versus the Flash Wolves, you have to start with the mid lane masters. AHQ's dynamic duo of Westor and Chowie versus the Flash Wolves' Maple.
2v1 in the mid lane. What the heck is this? But honestly, you talk about this matchup, but it's very interesting, right? AHQ repeatedly run blue side West Door, red side Chawi.
Right.
On the other side of the map, Maple just starts every single game. Maple's outperforming the two of them combined in a certain way. In terms of total kills, he's got basically 20 more than both of them combined. KDA, he's number 3 in the league overall, ahead of either of those mid laners as well. Honestly, Maple is just incredible. To have better stats with a team with a worse record means you're an incredibly good individual player. To talk about the AHQ duo a little bit, though, West Door's champ pool is still growing, which is good considering it was just Fizz. It's a small pond. He added a Azir there, so now there's some deserts in there as well. Maybe it's a champ ocean. I don't know what to call it anymore, but it's improving players all down the line. This is probably going to be the final of the actual playoffs for which team goes to MSI, but we get a nice BO2 preview of it this week, which will be really fun.
That's right, and you can watch AHQ try to finish the spring split without losing a match when they take on the Flash Wolves. That's Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific. That's going to translate to 7 a.m. Sunday if you're watching in Berlin. And if you can't wait that long for some BFing plays, you're in luck. It's time for this week's compilation of the top 5 plays.
Or as Vici Gaming's Endless, Immortals, Huni, and the boy who shattered time can call it, the Penta. Coming in at number 5, it was Echo Fox's Froggen with the max range snipe onto Renegade's Seraph.
Seraph getting a bit of a sidestep there. You're going to have a few more seconds for Sonic Wave. Crumbz comes in with the cast. Oh, the final spark! It was just the tip, but it was just enough.
And it had just come off of cooldown as well. Froggen had used it previously for wave clear, and he keeps in pursuit, waiting for that cooldown to come off.
At number 4, Rox Tiger's Prey hunted down 4 members of SKT as he picked up a quadra kill.
자 거리 공격 이러면 지금부터 딜링이에요. 지금부터 바로 죽었어요. 노플러스 바로 죽었어요. 죽었어요. 그 대신 시베르가 잘 긁었어요. 아직 죽었고요. 두명 잡고 스맨 전체 벽에다 밀어넣고 울프 잡고 이기는 그림이죠. 락스 뱅 카이팅 트리플 K 여기서 시베르 싹
At number 3, Renegade's Ninja marked Team Impulse's Mash for death in this 1v3 outplay.
Now it's on to Ninja, who jumps on top of Mash, and he'll try to get the kill, and in fact, he will get it! That is Ninja getting that one, and now running away with the Youmu's. Magical Journey in. This should be one for Period, but it's not! Ninja gets the kill 1v3 and gets out!
And that is why Ninja is known for Zed right there. What an outplay, 1v3. Ninja gets all the damage down, pops them all of Mount Mortius for the overshield there. The death mark is what finishes him off. And then this is just a genius juke right here.
Diving into number 2, Immortals Huni had time on his side as he picked up his second pentakill of the split.
And now they can back it up, but Kenfang and the team back up the unstoppable force. The HP bars are not telling the same story. Immortals is running right over them. Huni with the phase dive. Huni with the quadra. The fall. Is it going to be the Penta? Huni in the final game of their spring split gets a pentakill.
And dashing into number 1, Vici Gaming's Endless was relentless as he sent all 5 members of Snake to the grave.
Teleport coming in the back lines.
Yeah, Flandre looking for a kill. This could be a fight here. Flandre, who's he going to lock down? He does find Endless, but he gets ulted instantly by EasyHoon. He is almost going to go down, but Alec gets a massive 4-man pulse. Crystal, though, locked up on the other side by Long, and Flandre's just too low. There's Tank going in with a package. Looks for EasyHoon, who pops the ulti. Endless, massive positioning over the side as they finally take down the Braum, but Vici go massive. That's a quadra. Endless gets himself a pentakill.
Remember, if you witness a play that makes you scream, OMG, Mom, grab the camera, then grab your Twitter. Hit us up at LOL Esports. Use the hashtag #ThePenta as always, and add your favorite play plus your sharply witted tweet, and you could be in next week's countdown. Speaking of looking sharp, recently the Netherlands edition of Vogue featured Fnatic's mid lane hunk, Febevin, looking fit in the latest fashion trends. So first, Febevin takes the title of Best Mid EU from Peke last year. Now he's threatening to be the most handsome Mid EU. I guess it's no wonder Peke jumped back into Origin's starting lineup. Am I right? All kidding aside, it is good to see Febevin and the LCS is in vogue. One thing that's always in vogue in the LCS is having fun. You know that. And this weekend, Phreak had a lot of fun interviewing players after their final week of spring split action. But not as much as fun as his right arm had.
I'm here with Matt after a great Janna game here. I want to talk to you first about the plan coming in. You had a great Protect the Piglet comp. You were playing Janna. Next question up, you guys have C9. Talking about deserving every single win up against second or third place C9 in your final game of the regular season before you're heading to playoffs. What's that game going to look like for you? The victorious reign over 17-1. You won Europe twice with an 18-0 record the second time around. Top 4 at Worlds. Explode so much as such a top player.
Sure, planes go the correct directions. All right. Don't punch that kid. That's foul. You guys go that way. All right, that's good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's wind blowing around, so I'm going this way. We're raving now. Oh man, figure eights. Do some figure eights. These aren't exactly glow sticks, but they're bright orange. That's good enough. I'm here to give you guys a magical show, and you see. Out of this hat comes tons of damage! Oh, what a great trick! I am the best magician of all time. Whew!